Hi guys, Lucas devices are going into service, so we put together a short video to make sure that you're up to speed on their operation. So let's get started. So we're going to go over the Lucas device and do a quick in-service training on it. So first thing is we have the Lucas hard case that it comes in. It has backpack straps on the outside, and they should be stored just like an SCBA, pulled all the way out in a reasonable distance, so that when we put the straps on, you pull them tight like an SCBA, and you can respond up a long driveway or wherever. If it's a shorter haul, you can use the handle, but to do the pit crew properly, you should be wearing this on the back, whoever's carrying this. The next thing to look at is underneath this flap, there is a charge port, and that is for ambulance operation where we can keep this plugged in and charging all of the time. On the top of the device, when it's plugged in, you can see the battery status in this little window here. When we store the zipper configuration, have them both together obviously would be closed, and keep it on the handle side for consistency so that we know the handle side is always where the opening straps are going to be. All right, so now we're gonna open the device. You're gonna pull the handles on the straps and then pull it over. And what we have on the inside of the device is we have the device itself, we have a carry tarp, we have the board for the patient, and a C-collar. On this side, we have the neck supporting device that straps the patient to the device. We have a pair of shears to cut clothing off. We have an extra suction cup in case something happens to the first one. And then we have our spare battery that if our first battery goes dead, we have a replacement. On the device itself, you have the control panel. The first thing that we do is hit the green button, which is on. We have our battery status button. And then it's an easy operation, which we'll show you in a minute, which is 1, 2, and 3, either one of those buttons. So we have a patient moving tarp on the other side as well. We have the board that goes against the patient's back. We have directions, which will soon disappear. And we have a new neck brace for after we get the patient intubated or an iGel in place. Let's talk about battery removal and installation. To get the batteries out, you want to pull away from the device here and then up at the same time, and the battery comes out. To put the battery in, just line up the slides and it goes in and it's connected. If you don't pull out, the battery's not going to come out. You have to pull gently away and up. Same is true with the charger. If you just pull up, the battery will not come out. You'll break the battery trying to get it out. You need to pull away gently, and then the battery will come straight up and then slides right back into the charger. All right, so let's talk about how the device hooks onto the backboard. So you're gonna line the backboard up just as the picture is shown on the patient. The nipple line is the center of the board, and then it has these two bars. Those bars get grabbed by these hooks. And what's important is when these hooks go on here, they will click in place and lock, and now I'm locked onto the board. But if the hooks are already activated, I will not be able to attach the board. So that's what this is for. You pull up on this and it releases those hooks. And then when you push down, the hooks become engaged. So it's important when you pick up the device before you attach it to the board that you pull up on these handles to make sure the device isn't accidentally locked. That would be an accidental lock. That's the release. Once the device is on the patient and it's operational, we can secure the patient to the device with the neck strap. It's important that we store the straps all the way out like we do all of our SCBA and other types of straps. And then we're gonna take this bed and place it underneath the patient's neck. It's important to take the time now to make sure the strap is straight and not twisted up before we connect it. You connect it to the buckle that's attached to the arm of the device. Then we go to the other strap, minding that we didn't twist the strap in the process. Now that both straps are straight and in place, you can pull towards the patient's head, and then it secures the patient to the device and keeps the device from rocking away from the patient. Another portion that we can do is these are the arm straps for the patient. We can further secure the patient to the device by strapping their arms to the device, and it keeps their arms from flopping around during the code. So to place the board on the patient, Scott's going to be doing CPR. I take the board and place it at the patient's head. I'm going to come over and grab the patient's wrists and do the hyperextension deadlift. I'm going to say lift. When I lift up, he's going to pick the board up, he's going to line it up, and it's important that we line the top of this black bar with the bottom of his armpit so that when we lower the patient down, he's in the proper space. Okay, you drop the patient's arms above and CPR is continued. To place the device, CPR will be in progress. Release your locking mechanisms. Lock your first bar, come through the compressor's arms, lock your second bar, heat clears out, 1, 2, 3, the device begins pumping. Now we're going to be demonstrating continuous CPR with an advanced airway in place. Every time you hear the tone, that's the time you breathe. It's every 6 seconds. Breathe. Breathe.
2 minutes later.
Okay, that tone is your 2-minute timer for a rhythm check. You would pause, check the pulse, check the corresponding rhythm on the monitor, and go ahead and when you determine that it's a shockable rhythm or not shockable rhythm, doesn't matter, restart the machine. And if it's a shockable rhythm, at this point you can shock the patient with the machine running. If it's a non-shockable rhythm, you just continue regular CPR. All right, to extricate the patient, we're gonna start with our moving tarp stretched out next to the patient. We're gonna bunch it up as close to the patient as possible so it's ready to go on the lift. And then when we're ready to lift, our partner is gonna come in and he's going to reach over and grab the handle on this side, and I'm going to shove the tarp under the patient the best I can, drop. Then I'm going to reach over, grab, and lift, and he's going to pull. Once we have that, we pick up our handles and lift. All right, that was the basic operation of the Lucas device. Now let's go get hands-on and do some practicing.